So when we decided to move, we were actually considering two options. I had been working quite a bit in India as a consultant for a fairly large art organization, and they had offered me a job that would have meant moving, relocating to New Delhi completely. And so that was something that was interesting, and I was kind of considering it with a lot of attention. And my husband, by the same token, had some interesting connections in Rio de Janeiro. And I love the idea of moving to Rio. So we really moved out of New York thinking we would just spend the winter in Miami. I think by the time we decided that was going to happen, it was September. We closed down, we curated our life, gave away tons of stuff, put a few things in storage, and actually jumped on our motorcycle and took 2 weeks to come down to Miami, thinking we'll be in Miami for 6 to 8 months. In the meantime, we'll see whether it's going to be New Delhi or it's going to be Rio de Janeiro. So this is like 2012. Both cities are difficult cities to live in, and we were, very conscious of that. So we felt, okay, we're just going to do this if it really makes sense. The Delhi part never quite developed in the way that I was hoping or expecting. Same thing for Rio. So we thought, okay, well, let's just stay here and see kind of what happens. So about 6 months into it, we had met incredible people. I really spent the first, I would say, 6 to 8 months just doing studio visits. As a curator, for me, it was critical to understand who were the artists, what they were doing, where, is that a community? If so, where is it? And, and then through them, I started to meet other curators. I started to meet galleries, whether they were representing these artists or not. And I was blown away, first of all, by the generosity of the art community here in Miami. Tammy Katz-Fryman and Catherine Meixel, I think, were the first two women I met when we moved down. I actually met Tammy through her Catherine, and through the both of them, so many doors opened. And there was just a way to make you feel welcome, and I think also to understand the value that, someone who's been working and living in New York for so many years and had a, kind of an international outtake in terms of, having worked in a lot of different places around the globe, could actually bring to Miami, but in a very, open and non-confrontational way. And that's something that was just beautiful for me to experience. New York, New York, it's very cutthroat. And even though I met some incredible people in New York and I had a wonderful community, I never felt this close to a lot of the people that do similar things that I do, even though we each do it in a very unique and different way. And also what was fascinating to me was to understand that I could actually contribute to this. In New York, you become jaded because everything has been said and done and seen before, right? So I find it really hard to find a niche where you can actually do things that are unique, because you're going to find out that someone else has done it before you, probably in a better way. While in Miami, because it's still in development. There is so much more growth that Miami can achieve in sort of the arts and cultural world. I felt like it could really contribute by virtue of the experiences I've had, the network that I built internationally, the kind of artists that I work with, where I can actually do something to better what is happening now. And I never felt that way in New York. And so that was also very novel and just exciting feeling about, wow, I can really make a difference here. So that's been, I think, one of the main reasons why we ended up staying. I started working with different entities. Art Center South Florida, and now Light Arts, was the first nonprofit space where I actually curated an exhibition. Then I curated a second one. Then I met Diana Lowenstein, started working with them. Then it was a bakehouse. So I just kind of started to, figure out all these different opportunities of collaborations, and it just made sense.